we're now very close, very close. We could bring some of these hostages home very soon, but I don't want to get into the details of things because nothing is done until it's done. And if we have more to say, we will, but things are looking good at the moment.
Well, let's speak now to our US correspondent, James Matthews, who joined us now from the White House. And James, what has the American involvement been?
It's been central, pivotal to this, Sophie. And I have to say, Joe Biden, speaking earlier this morning inside the Roosevelt Room, was leaning pretty hard into the prospect of a deal being done and being executed. He's clearly pinning his colours to the mast on this one, although he did add the rider, nothing is done until it's done. There was subsequently a briefing from John Kirby of the National Security Council, and without giving any detail, he did speak around how this might happen, talking about how any hostage release, they would have to pay heed to the execution and to the monitoring of it. They're clearly aware they are dealing with an unpredictable enemy in all of this, talking about the practicalities of any release, how these hostages may be in poor physical condition, how it could take hours, even days, but stressing that the United States and partners would remain pragmatic because they know how precarious the situation is politically and practically on the ground. For Joe Biden, this would be something of a result, and he needs a result, a degree of positivity in all of this, although clearly everything is relative in this conflict. His limitations diplomatically and politically in terms of being able to shape and steer this conflict have been exposed. He's not always been in sync with Israel, a well-funded US ally. And there are questions here about why that's the case. Handsomely funded, a poll this week for NBC showed that a thumping majority of voters don't rate Joe Biden on foreign policy and his performance throughout the Israel-Hamas conflict. He is clearly suffering from an unrelenting sequence of bad news. So for him to be seen to be shaping to some degree events in the Middle East and to have some degree of influence rather bucks the trend that he has suffered from thus far.
James, thank you very much indeed. James Matthews there from the White House.